Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome to another subscriber giveaway series video. Now today normally we'd be starting with a Theros box, but I got some extra Theros Prerelease packs that are still sealed, and we're going to open up the Path of Honor, which is white, and the Path of Wisdom, which is blue, this week, and then we're going to open up the green and the black paths next week. So instead of opening 12 packs of like Theros, we're going to open 2 of these and then split them up into piles and then give them away, just like we would normally, except with these instead of actual like Theros packs. For those of you just joining us, this is how it works. I open up everything, split it up into 3 piles. I try to make as even piles value-wise as I possibly can, considering Theros is new. This is obviously going to change, but I'll do the best I can. And then in these 3 piles, I will give away whatever they are to 3 random people, and all you have to do to win is be a subscriber and then comment down below. There have been a few times where people have commented and the random number generator picked their names, but they weren't subscribers, so that actually turns out pretty bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to start, we'll start with the Path of Honor. How about that? So remember, no matter what we open, we're going to give it away. Let's hope we can get something, awesome, right? Move the Path of Wisdom over. We'll deal with that later. Okay, hopefully you guys enjoyed your pre-release and all the pre-release content we've put up this week. So we have our Path of Honor checklist and our hero card. I'm going to have a bunch of these after this. I will send the hero card if you want it. For all the winners, if you want hero cards, I'll send them. Alright, let's start with our sealed pack. Or our seeded pack, rather. Because this is white, we get the promo. But we should also get another rare of the same color, so. The Archon, really good in pre-release, like most of the promos were. Just being able to give so much to it, like on itself or to another creature, is just really strong. So we have a Ray of Disillusion, and we have a Gift of Immortality. It's pretty good. 3-mana enchant creature. When the enchant creature dies, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control, and return Gift of Immortality to the battlefield. Attach that creature to the beginning of your next end step. So basically you have to remove a creature twice, and if you don't, this just keeps coming back. It's kind of disgusting. Emissary was great in Limited. Pretty much all the Emissaries were great. We just released our top 10. Battlefield Eidolon was in there. Just of what we saw in our experiences. So, alright, so that's done with the seeded pool. I'll just put this to the side while we do this. So, pack 1. So here's how it's going to work. All the uncommons in here will go with these cards. I guess I'll put the promo with this card, right? So, let's go. There's pile 1. Right there. Okay. Remember, I'm going to try to split them in as many piles as possible. If too many cards end up in each of the 3 piles, maybe I'll make 4. I haven't decided yet. But let's get right into these packs. All right. So let's go through these. If anything is like big in or I think it's going to be big in draft or sealed or standard, I'll stop and talk about it a little bit. Dragon Mantle was great. For anybody that used it, it's just pure card advantage. Like in red, 1 mana draw card is really good. Then Fire Breathing's pretty great. Crusader was good, as everyone expected. Read the Bones was one of the best. This was one of the cards that was going to make our top 10, but didn't. But it should have, I think. It was pretty great. Alright, in commons we have Horizon Scholar, pretty awesome and limited. Anvilwrought Raptor. There's a lot of controversy about this because it's a 4-mana flying first strike for 2/1, or a 2/1 for 4 mana. And it's rough because I'm used to Voiceless Spirit, right, back in Innistrad, which is 3 mana for a 2/1. And this can be removed by so much. But he does win a lot of battles in the sky, so it's kind of tough. Spellheart Chimera, probably, I think this will see play in Standard. And a Fleecemane Lion, alright, cool, great start. Fleecemane Lion is 1 green and 1 white for a 3/3, and then you can pay 3 colorless, 1 green and 1 white, give it Monstrosity and 1 counter, and as long as it's monstrous, it has hexproof and indestructible. This card is great. I think it's sitting at like $8 right now. It's pretty fantastic. If you guys remember Watch Wolf, if you played back then, it was just a 2 mana for a 3/3. This guy's just by definition better because he comes with more. And people would say, oh, 5 mana's a lot, you know, until then he's just a 3/3. But he's a 3/3 for 2 mana. Like, I know others have existed before, but this guy has the potential to become bigger and really hard to deal with. This is a really good card. So this is a great one for our first one. We're going to stick that just right there in pile 2. These aside. Alright. Alright, this is going really well so far. Obviously, you know, it's 2 decks in, but Gift of Immortality is cool. Fleece Mainline is cool. And come on, promos are awesome, right? Oh, I grip-tided one of these twice in one game, and it was pretty devastating for the other player. Let's see. Hopeful Eidolon. I thought this was really good, even though it's like 4 mana to bestow it just to get a +1/+1. The lifelink's great. Coastline Chimera was a little underwhelming. This was a good card. People ran that. Stone Shock Giant was in everything. If people were running a red deck, they had this guy, and he was disgusting. Okay, this is probably, and this is important, because I wanted this on the top 10 list, but I couldn't really fit it. But Sea God's Revenge, yeah, it's 6 mana and it's a sorcery, but you can wipe their whole board for a turn, and some of those creatures might be monstrous, and you get to scry. This card is so good in Limited. Don't overlook it. Train Tactics, another great card in Limited if you can understand it, but it's a good card. And then a Nykthos. Okay, so Nykthos Shrine to Nyx is a legendary land. You can tap it to add 1 to your mana pool, or tap 2 color, or pay 2 colorless and tap it to choose a color, and add to your mana pool an amount of mana of the color equal to your devotion to that color. So this is great for like monocolored decks. I know monocolored decks running in the pre-release use this whenever they had it, because you're just creating so much mana. Like, let's say you drop this on like turn 6, or even, no, let's make it even easier. Let's drop it turn 4, and you have 2 or 3 permanents. Maybe one of them has double blue or double black, right? So you're tapping 2 mana, or you're paying 2 mana and tapping this and potentially getting 4 out of it. It's so much value for 1 land, you know what I mean? It's just so much value. So this is a pretty good card. It might see play in mono red, right? Because right now mono red's using Mutavault. Mutavault's not bad by any means, but this lets them get more mana if they need it, and mono red loves running less land, right? So this might be a thing for them. I don't know though. We'll see. Mono red isn't exactly my forte. I'm more the control player. If you didn't notice, we're opening blue and white today. My absolute favorite color combination. Okay. Alright. What are we looking at? Bronze Sable. Didn't see many people playing that. Hemlock, great removal spell. Voyage's End, oh, such a good card. In draft, you're going to want to take these sooner than you think. They're really good. Let's see. Get to Griptide. Griptide and Voyage's End, man. Griptide's amazing. It's in multiple of my videos because it's so good. Sometimes we have Ordeal of Erebos. Horizon Chimera. This card is great. I think it'll see play. It could see play in Constructed. Granted that whenever you draw a card, you gain 1 life isn't awesome. 4 mana for a flash flying trampler, I feel like that could be good, you know? And in green and blue, it kind of makes sense. We have the Ordeal of Nilia. All the Ordeals are amazing. And then a Meletus Charlatan. Okay, so our Meletus Charlatan's 2 colorless and 1 blue for a 2/3. You can pay 3 mana and tap it, and the controller of target instant or sorcery copies it. That player may choose new targets for the copy. This card needs a package around it, right? Because like you can tell with the way it's worded, there's obviously a strategy here. So it probably wouldn't be good if you were in a pre-release event and you opened 3 of these, right? It's probably bad. That's what happened to me. I was playing blue, and this is just, I opened 3 of these guys, and it was terrible. It's not that his ability is bad, it's that most of the abilities I would want to copy are expensive, you know what I mean? And for how fast the board state was moving once he got into the mid-game, he just wasn't performing, or like he wouldn't have performed well. Which is a shame, because his ability's fine, you know, it's not like a terrible ability. Alright, so we're going to put him on the Fleece Mane Lion pile, because Fleece Mane Lion is pretty much, I'm pretty sure just going to carry that pile, right? Like, pretty much to the end. Okay. Let's see what we got. Good start. Lightning Strike is pretty much amazing. I mean, come on now. It's a burn spell. In Limited. Who would have thunk it, right? Benthic Giant was surprisingly better than I thought it would be. Only because the people that played it, like half the decks in the pre-release ended up being just stompy decks, right? Like they would just play big, huge creatures, and even blue decks did it too. So, you know, it makes it not terrible. Time to Feed. If you watch our top 10, this isn't it. Alright, so uncommons, we have Artisan Sorrow. This was great sideboard tech, and not even sideboard. People mainboarded this in blue deck or in green decks because there were so many enchantments. It was good. Heliod's Emissary, great and Limited. Prowler's Helm. It was okay, right? Like, I know as far as equipments are concerned, people were using the sandals a lot. But this isn't bad. It's just, I feel like there's so much more, you know, you could be doing with that mana. That's the only reason I don't like it. and an Annex and Siamete. I feel like this is probably one of the most open cards. But it's really, like, they're putting it everywhere, right? It's in the dual deck, people are opening it a lot, but it's so good, you know, like 1 colorless, 1 red, 1 white for a 3/2 first strike vigilance. And whenever you cast a spell that targets Annex and Siamete, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain trample until end of turn. Like, vigilance is okay, but first strike is great. And like, if you're looking at a 3-mana 3/2 first strike vigilance, that's already decent. Now granted, there are a lot of ways to deal 2 damage to something. This is just the heroic ability and the fact that red-white is so aggro now, and you could put it in like a Naya build. It's just, I feel like it's so much better than people, or like it's so much better than people are giving it credit for. Just because it's in a dual deck, and just because people are pulling a lot of it. It's a good card, you know, it really is. It's not, there's nothing wrong with this card. So actually, we're gonna put this over here on our what is now a very white pile. Okay, last pack of this one. If you watch our top 10, you'll know this guy's on it. I won't tell you where he is, but he's there. Prescient Chimera, awesome. Let's see. Get to uncommons. Rage of Perforos was fine. Fairland Vacation was good. Like, the flash is just so strong, you know? All the Ordeals were great. Ordeal of Healad was very good. Battlemaster's such a beat stick. Like, 5 mana for a 3/3 is like, eh. But the counters you give him are crazy. Like, if you put an Ordeal on him, you're just dealing with like a 6/6 right there. It's just nuts. They have a Witch's Eye, which is like, eh. And then a Daxus of Meletus. Okay, so Daxus of Meletus is 1 colorless, 1 white, 1 blue for a 2/2. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. And whenever he deals combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You gain life equal to that card's converted mana cost, and until end of turn, you may cast that card, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color. So basically, it deals damage, you exile cards, and then you gain life based on the card's mana cost, and then you get to play it as if it was your own in any color you want. The ability's great, right? The problem is that his evasion's not great. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater isn't awesome. I mean, it obviously helps, but, you know, doesn't have hexproof, doesn't have first strike, still dies to a lot, you know, for having so much card text. He dies to a lot. It's kind of like the Cerberus, it's kind of the same thing. He does a lot, but he dies pretty quick. So I'm not saying the card's not terrible, right? The abilities are fine, but you would need a way to protect this guy, right? Because otherwise, you know, what are you gonna do? We'll put him on the Nykthos pile. Alright, so that's it for this. We have our let's spin down. Okay. So let's go to our next one, right? Because we're opening 2. Because I could open 1, but, you know, how fun would that be? Opening 1. Come on. Come on. Alright. So, got our Paz. Got our Philosopher card. Alright, let's put it this side. Let's start with our seeded pack. These foil promos are just so nice, you know, they're so pretty. Like, I'm a sucker for pretty things, especially pretty blue things. And come on, that's just, oh, come on, that's so nice, right? Right, so we have the Kraken, we have an Annul, and a Bident. Wow, this has been a really good, it's been a really good pack so far. Flame Speaker Adept, Emissary, Horizon, oh wow. Horizon Chimera, Read the Bones, Voyage's End. If you got this would be Vaporkin, Aqueous Form. This would be a great seeded pack, right, to go blue. The Bident of Thassa is 2 colorless and 2 blue, and whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. You can pay 1 colorless and 1 blue and tap it to creatures your opponents control attack this turn if able. So, in Standard this might be difficult, right? Like, while it says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. That's always a great ability. 4 mana is a lot, right? And even if you get it out, you have to do, or you can make your opponent's creatures attack, which I think is weird for blue, but it's a great card for limited, right? Because it's a weapon. You know, pretty much all the weapons are good for limited. I don't think standard constructed play is a thing, but it's a cool card, right? It's definitely a cool card. Okay. So where are we going to stick these two, right? Like I think I could just, I think I'm just going to put them right in this middle pile, just like lock that off. Hopefully we'll get something good for some of these outside piles, but Fleece Main Lion, seems pretty decent. So let's get these out. let's get to it. See what we can get here, right? Okay, Nimbus Naiad, great start, awesome and limited. See, now I'm thinking if I open this because it's the blue one, and I picked blue, right? The Path of Wisdom. I'm building a deck in my head whenever I see some of these cards. Commune with the Gods, awesome. Let's get to... Oh, Nemesis Immortals, great uncommon, right? We talked about it a little bit on one of our videos for spoilers, but this card's great. You know, the 6 mana for a 5/5, not bad, but it comes out faster if you have stuff in the graveyard, and you can make it huge, and that becomes... Or you get to pay for that faster with cards in the graveyard. So it's a lot of value for little mana sometimes. Another Ordeal, always good. Cutthroat Maneuver, not bad. And a Stormbreath Dragon and a Foil Island. That's pretty. Okay, so Stormbreath Dragon is 3 colorless and 2 red for a 4/4 Flying Haste Pro White. You can pay 7 mana, give him Monstrosity and 3 counters, and whenever he becomes monstrous, it deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of cards in that player's hand. This guy is a money card, right? If I've ever seen one, this guy is... He's got money. So we're gonna... He's just great. Like, he's amazing and limited. He's going to be... I think he's definitely got to see play in Standard, right? Like, Thunderbolt Hellkite was great. And obviously, like, there are a lot of people who say, you know, just straight up better than this guy, which is fine. There's obviously an argument for that. But Flying Haste Pro White in an enchantment block is really good. This guy's not bad at all. He's going to see play. That's why he's worth so much, I think. Granted, I'm not, like, you know, the most experienced red player, but this guy's definitely going to see play. Oh, this is rough, right? Where are we going to put this guy? I think we're going to put him over here, right? We'll put the island there. We're just going to leave him there. Stormbreath Dragon, guys. I mean, is there better? To be fair, if we open something ridiculous, I'll just be like, there was better. Remember, all you have to do is subscribe and comment, and then you can just win these cards. We've been sending them out for weeks now. You should get in this before more people subscribe, right? Let's see. Chrome Crusader, good. Good. Fading Antiquity, great. Even though it's sorcery, Speeded Exiles. Gets rid of those pesky gods. Alright, Gainsay. Probably my least favorite blue card because it hates blue and I love blue. Decorated Griffin, not terrible. Flame Spirit Adept, And Anger of the Gods. Alright, super playable red card. If you guys remember Slagstorm from Mirrodin Block, this is 1 colorless, 2 red, sorcery. Anger of the Gods deals 3 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. Pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So, this card's going to be in red decks. And I don't just mean mono red, right? I mean any deck running red. Red-green aggro, in case something, you know, goes poorly, they might put it in their sideboard. But the thing I'm worried about, and by word I mean I'm not really worried, is blue-white-red flash, or not flash anymore, but blue-white-red control. Because people are going to want to play that deck, right? And they still can. You have stuff like Spellheart Chimera, Madome. There's stuff for this deck, and Anger of the Gods is totally one of those cards. Control decks are looking for burn spells, or they're looking for sweepers. Right now, Supreme Verdict is like the big dog, but Anger of the Gods kills a lot of stuff. This is a great card. It's gonna be in a lot. It's gonna be in a lot of stuff, I think. All right. I mean, let's put it over here. This is the last pile that's sort of lacking. We have 3 packs left. What are we gonna do? That right side is looking pretty good now with that Stormbreath Dragon. Man, we're having some pretty good problems, right? Oh, our lives. Oh, man, I wish I had some of you, Omen Speaker. You so good. Faberkin good. Is that Bent Annul? Awesome. Let's see. So we have Uncommons Phalanx Leader. Great, great, great card. Peak Eruption. Alright. Triton Tactics again. Complicated, but awesome. And an Artisan of Forms. Okay, so this is the new clone. It's 1 colorless and 1 blue for a 1/1, and whenever you cast a spell that targets Artisan of Forms, you may have Artisan of Forms become a copy of target creature and gain this ability. So, like, the way Phantasmal Image worked is it came in as a clone, and if it was targeted, it died. You know, clone is 1 more mana, but just becomes a creature. These clone effects, if they're not just the standard clone cost, they usually have something weird about them, right? And this is definitely a weird one. I like that it's heroic, right, because it's very flavorful. And there's a good way to take advantage of this, especially if you can do it in limited and you have enough combat tricks, or enough, like, heroic enablers. You can make this thing just copy stuff all day, right? Like, You could have it come down, copy an Omen Speaker. That would be cool. And then later, when you play a Stormbreath Dragon, have a copy of Stormbreath Dragon. Things just get nuts. I think this card has potential. I do. But you have to make a package around it, right? Because you have to enable the heroic value in it. And that's not easy. It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. I'm honestly just going to keep adding things. Actually, I'm going to put this here. I'm assuming something good is going to happen for this pile. We have a lot of these piles right now, don't we? Jeez. Okay. Nilia's Presence Fund. That's the sandals I said people were using a lot of, and they were. Flying is pretty good. I mean, haste is nothing to laugh at either, but flying is where it's at. Oh, man. I wish I pulled these cards, because Wingsteed Rider is nuts. Every time I played against it, all they would do is stick like an ordeal on it, and the game was pretty much over. Flying Evasion's as good as it's ever been, and it will continue to be that way. Horizon Chimera again, awesome. If this was our sealed pull, we'd have like 2 or 3 of these now. Heliod's Emissary would have 2 or 3 of those, that's great. Decorated Griffin, and a Gift of Immortality, so we got our second Gift of Immortality. We already know what this does. It's good, you make things die over and over again. It kind of makes me want to put it in a different pile though, right? I don't want to give someone 2 Gifts of Immortality. I'm going to move this Artisan over and then put the gift here. Remember, this is just me trying to make it look okay. Stormbreath Dragon is kind of skewing everything, let's be honest. First world problems. Alright, last pack. Here we go. What are we going to get? Good start. Sip of Hemlock is pretty great. Yes, it's sorcery speed for 6 mana, but it's a kill spell unlimited. And kill spells unlimited are pretty great. I played Stymied Hopes for days. That was awesome. Leafcrown Dryad's decent. Faberkin's good. It's a really good pack. Yoked Ox, so strong. Alright, so uncommons, we have Kragma Warcaller. Not bad. Karametra's Acolyte. Never saw this played, although I'm sure people did. A Witch's Eye. And a Chain to the Rocks. Awesome. Oh, and a foil Karametra's Acolyte. That's cool. Alright, so Chain to the Rocks. 1 white mana, enchant mountain you control. When Chain to the Rocks enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until Chain to the Rocks leaves the battlefield. This is just a great removal effect, right? Like, this has Sacred Foundry written all over it. Or any white, really any white red deck, honestly. It could be aggro, mid-range control, anything. This card is amazing. The ability to exile target creature, by it not saying destroy and it's saying exile instead, that's just bonkers, right? This is gonna see play in definitely standard, maybe other formats. This card is just really, really good. We got a cool foil there. This is gonna be worth something, right? So I guess I'm putting it in this pile. This pile has a lot of cards in it, but this one has the Lion, this one has a Stormbreath Dragon, this one has Anger of the Gods and Chain to the Rocks. I'm okay with this, I think. I mean, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I guess I could just move Artisan back here, right? I don't think it matters at this point. You're pretty much going for like Anger Chained, Fleecemane Lion, Stormbreath Dragon, right? Okay, so yeah, if this ends up being bad, like value-wise, I'll figure it out and come back, but if it's not so bad, then I'll just leave it. So, okay. So pile 1, we can review this. We have a Chain to the Rocks, a foil Karametra's Acolyte, Anger of the Gods, Annex and Cymede, Gift of Immortality, and Celestial Archon. I'll put Chain of the Rocks on the top. This is pile 1. Pile 2 is Artisan of Forms, Gift of Immortality, Bidon of Thassa, Shipbreaker Kraken, Melita Charlatan, and a Fleecemane Lion. It's pile 2, right? Okay. And pile 3 is the smallest, but definitely not the worst. Stormbreath Dragon, Pretty Island, Daxus of Meletus, and Nykthos Shrine to Nyx. So, just to review, all you have to do to win is be a subscriber, comment below, and you can win any of these 3 piles completely at random. The contest is open until basically right before we release the next video. And if you win, and like that's all you have to do to win. That is it. We will pick 3 people at random. You don't get to pick a pile, we'll just give you one. And that's basically how it works, right? It's really easy. At the end of this video, right after I'm done talking, the winners will come up with our awesome intro-outro music. And then all that you'll have to do is message me your address, right? Because how am I supposed to send you stuff if you don't message me your address? You'll get the uncommons with everything, and tokens if you got them. They'll come with these. That's the best. Like, I don't want to send comments because I have to buy bigger packaging. I don't want to do that. So yeah, remember, subscribe, comment. You don't have to like the video, but we really appreciate it. I've been Wedge, this is Source. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.